Hey everyone, Tim Hauer here from Coastal Preps for the girls soccer preview. Another one of our really great sports in this area. Had a lot of teams make deep postseason runs last year. I'm going to start with a team that made it to their state championship game, Coastal Christian. First time ever that they advanced to the NCI SAA 3A state championship game, but the team did graduate a lot of seniors, so Coach Brian Kurtz has got to replace those. He does have a good nucleus back. Morgan Fritz, Audrey Shrewsbury, Finley, Melvin, and Emily Honeycutt are the top returning players. So looking for the Centurions to have a good season. Of course, their biggest competition, a team that they played in the semifinals last year, their rivals, Cape Fear Academy, and they were young last year, might be even younger this year. Coach Meade McFarland's going to start 5 8th graders, including goalkeeper Naomi Shainweiss, who's going to be one of the best goalkeepers in the area, even though she's only in 8th grade. The lone senior on the team, Izzy Giraldi, is providing really good leadership early this season, according to Coach McFarland. So, I expect both of those teams to have really good seasons this year, and could certainly advance deep into the playoffs again, and maybe even meet up at some point in the playoffs again. Their two regular season games should determine the conference title like it did last year. Move over to the public schools where Ashley and Hoggard have created a nice rivalry. Hoggard won the conference last year, made it all the way to the East Final, and if you don't remember, there was a very questionable call. I'm going to go ahead and say it on the record. It was a terrible call that cost them, I believe, a shot at the state championship. A penalty kick was awarded to Cardinal Gibbons when the girl was just going for a header, nobody near her. So certainly should not have been a foul or a penalty kick. Cardinal Gibbons ended up making that and went on to win the game, and then ended up going on to win the state championship. So just horrific luck for Hoggard, a team that was probably the best team in the state and probably deserved to win the state championship. Unfortunately for Hoggard, their star for the last 2 years not playing high school soccer this year, Ella Johnson, already committed to Clemson, has decided not to play high school soccer. So the Vikings are going to have to find some scoring options because their other top two goal scorers from last year have graduated. So I expect the Vikings to be really good in the back with Reese George leading the way for that defense. The midfield should be solid with Avery Barr and Logan Stewart, but I'm going to have to see who can step up and score some goals for them this year. Alice Kelly was a freshman last year that made second team All Coastal Preps, and she is back for her sophomore year. So Hoggard's still going to be very good just because of the amount of depth that they have, but not sure if they win the conference this year because I really, really like the Ashley team and what they've got coming back. A team that has, over the last couple years been starting a lot of freshmen, sophomores. Some of those girls now juniors and seniors, and still have a lot of really talented freshmen and sophomores as well that have joined the group. So to me, the two of the most dynamic players in the conference, and I've watched them since they were in 7th grade. The Pete sisters, Kylie and Karina, just fantastic players. Karina does her work up top as a forward, and Kylie controls the midfield. The only 6 players from the All Coastal Preps first team are back this year, and they are 2 of them. And Karina is the only player that scored more than 15 goals last year in the area that is returned. So proven goal scorer, and to me, they are kind of the difference makers. Love Ashley's defense as well, with Maggie Repke and Ellie Zimmerman leading the way. They were both All Coastal Preps members last year, so I think Ashley is going to be strong in the back. They'll be really good in the midfield, and then, like I said, probably the best goal scorer in the area. So you put those 3 pieces together, I really like Ashley's chances to win the conference. I think Hoggard is obviously right there in the mix. I think Topsail is going to be very good this year. They've got a really good goalkeeper in Katie McClear, and then Ryan Lambert was also a freshman last year. They're both sophomores this year. Have gotten that program to a really nice level, and I think they could certainly compete. For maybe second, third in that conference, fourth in the conference. Laney will also be there under first-year coach Justin Jones. They've got Brent Arnay and Grace Enzyme leading their defense, so they'll be really good defensively. Should have some goal scorers, but they do have to replace Taylor Chisholm, who was fantastic last year as a senior and is now at NC State. I think Rachel McGrath will step up and do a lot of the goal scoring for the Bucks this year. So, those four teams I think are the cream of the crop in the conference, and then we'll kind of see how the rest of the conference works out. Even though I don't think New Hanover will have a ton of wins and losses, do have to mention that they have the reigning Coastal Preps Defensive Player of the Year in goalkeeper Bella Ellison. She was scheduled to graduate early and go up to Richmond. Some things fell through, so she is now back with the Wildcats this year, and she can single-handedly keep them in some games. I think last year she had games where she had 15 or more saves, so she is really special, and will certainly, allow the Wildcats to stay in some games with, the South Brunswicks, West Brunswick, North Brunswicks, where the scores will probably be a little lower. The Wildcats also have a new coach in Sean Gadarian. If you are not familiar with that name, he is an Ashley graduate and one of the best boys soccer players to ever come from Ashley, and really probably from Wilmington. He had a great high school career. I remember covering him during his playing days, and now he is back coaching the New Hanover girls. So a team that has not had a lot of success the last couple of years. Once the boys coach TJ Rennie stepped aside, the Wildcats have struggled a little bit on the girls' side, and so I think Sean, with his terrific knowledge of the sport, will certainly help get that program back. They're probably a couple years away from competing to be an upper echelon team in the league, but will certainly, I think, show some improvements as this year goes on. So looking forward to a good season. I think Ashley and Hoggard could certainly be two of the best teams in the 4A East. We'll find out a lot more about them in the upcoming weeks, as they have some really tough non-conference games scheduled, which is great to kind of gauge where they're at as far as against some of the other top programs in the state. And like I said, I think Cape Fear Academy and Coastal Christian could certainly compete for NCI SAA state titles as well. So we should have some soccer teams make some deep runs this year, and I'm excited to get out there and cover them all. Hope you guys have enjoyed the preview so far, and keep checking back each day as we progress through all the spring sports. Be sure to check me out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Just search Coastal Preps and you'll be able to find me on all those social media platforms. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.